Hello, lovely people of the internet. This is Ziphius again. Thank you for clicking on this video. This is my second non-live stream video. And I decided to do something a little different this time. The first one was just me rambling about a little bit about who I am, about the pigeons in the background. By the way, that pigeon in the background is not one of the pigeons, it's a plushie. I know I got a pigeon plushie for Christmas. Funny enough, the pigeons actually think it's real, but they aren't relevant for this. The story I'm about to talk about happens at least a year, maybe even 2 years before. We got the pigeons this year. Okay, so the story takes place a whole year prior to them, about what I did last year for summer. Actually, no, it was 2023. Gosh, I'm trying to remember this. I just thought I'd make a fun story time video about how I once went to West Virginia to meet some family and got to kind of do a cryptozoology road trip, because out of things I haven't said yet, I love cryptozoology. I love cryptids, okay? I grew up watching Monster Quest. That was the GOAT back then. So the reason I bring this up is because I'm about to tell you about the story of it, okay? It was a long drive, like almost 2 whole days to drive to West Virginia. So, what we did was we started off, because again, Florida. So we rented a Tahoe. I know. Oh god, sorry, I just belched in my mask and my eyes, sorry. Okay, so what I was about to say is we began heading off. For breakfast, we just ate at the house. Lunch, we had Waffle House. By then, we were in North Florida. We took a long drive straight into Georgia. Both Florida and Georgia were like the 2 longest routes, because the first day took like almost both of those combined. We got all the way up to like North Georgia, like 10 miles from Tennessee. We ate at Moe's. Yeah, I really love Moe's. It was pretty good that time. Stayed the night at a hotel. We decided to take this route because the Bigfoot Museum, Expedition Bigfoot. Absolutely beautiful find, and if you're a fan of cryptozoology or a Bigfoot fan in the region of Georgia, highly recommend it. Very good story. In all seriousness, I went there. It was lovely. Absolutely stunning. And then we just continued heading off. It was beautiful. It was lovely. We got a brochure. That is also where we learned about the Flatwoods Monster Museum. Because if you guys don't know about the Flatwoods Monster, I recommend go watch Trey the Explainer or just look it up on YouTube. Just anything but AI slop, okay? So we continued driving through Tennessee. We got to try sauced nuggets at Wendy's for the first time, which that was good. Yeah, I think they test things first in like Tennessee before they release it into like that. So then we what did we do next? Let me just recall the events. It's been a long time. And I don't have the budget to animate like Jaden Animations. So let's see. Afterwards, we went through Tennessee, spent like 5 minutes in Kentucky and like a corner of a highway, drove through Virginia for a good portion of it. It's like the flattest range in the Appalachians then. Tennessee really gave me a view of what's to come, and then West Virginia blew me out of the water. It was like looking at Hyrule from Breath of the Wild half the time. It was beautiful. Oh, God. Been funny if I made this a stream. So in all seriousness, we get to my aunt and uncle's house. We stay the night, we sleep. We just kind of hang out there for like the whole rest of the week. Yeah, we stay there for a week. It's like our little base of operations in West Virginia. We spend like 4 days there in total. Each place we go is like somewhere special. First day we didn't really do much. We just vibed and kind of interacted with the family. I got to show off some new channels. Like he never knew about like my uncle, really big into conspiracy theories and also cryptozoology. He did not know about the YouTube channel known as the Y Files. He adored it. I showed him some cryptozoology compilations on YouTube of cryptids caught on camera and all. He adored it as well. And we just kind of rambled a lot. We got along real well. I loved it a lot. And then like if I recall, the next day we went into Sutton in Braxton County, which is like right next to Flatwoods, West Virginia. Yeah, because the Flatwoods Monster Museum isn't in Flatwoods, West Virginia. It's in Sutton, West Virginia, which is like right next to Flatwoods. But in all seriousness, Flatwoods is really tiny. It's like a buffet and like a couple restaurants and like 20 houses. They didn't even have the Flatwoods Monster chair out, which I hear was pretty cool. Like, it was a massive chair from what I've seen in pictures and photos. Like, my uncle literally showed me photos of it. It wasn't there, though. I'm not even kidding. I don't know if someone stole it, or they had to replace it, or they just got rid of it in the time span we were there. I don't remember if it was 2023 or 2024, but whatever it was definitely before the pigeons. And definitely after my dad passed away. So that's like a. So yeah, it was either 2023 or 2024. So we went to the Flatwoods Monster Museum. And we just kind of chilled then for a bit. We went to Dairy Queen like later that day, went shopping for a bit. Almost got to go in to see a Food Lion. Yeah. Food Lion sounds amazing. I have never actually been into one, but I've seen the stores and they look immaculate. Afterwards, so we went back to our house, slept a bit. Around this time is when I discovered my new love of Colgate toothpaste. I'm not even kidding. That Crest stuff did not feel good on my teeth. Colgate, though, absolutely. And then afterwards, I got to go to a Tim Hortons, which, if you don't know, is a mostly Canadian main chain of coffee and donut shops, basically. It's like Dunkin' Donut, but better. But it's still owned by the makers of Dunkin' Donut and Burger King. But most of the revenue comes from Tim Hortons because it's like the McDonald's of Canada. And all I have to say is, you Canadians have good stuff. Okay, that sandwich there tasted like beyond Publix grade quality. Okay, Publix food is decent, I guess, but it did not compare to the Tim Hortons. Yeah, good old Timmy Hortons. Later on, then, we began making our way to Point Pleasant, West Virginia. During that day, my uncle learned about the Veggie Man, which is actually real close to the place he lived. It was Fairmont that it was located in. But yeah, he loved to hear about it because, again, the Veggie Man, it's a literal cryptid. And again, we love cryptids. Because, again, autistic hyperfixation on cryptozoology here. And then afterwards, things got even sillier. Primarily with, what was it? We got to cross the Ohio River, and we even got to go to the Mothman Museum, which, as a cryptozoology fan, it was like a straight up pilgrimage, okay? The entire vacation was building up to that moment. The one where you literally get to go and see the Mothman statue, where we get to go in and see all this Mothman memorabilia, all the newspaper clippings about like how couple sees man-sized bird thing something. Yeah, the first thing involving Mothman before he got his name, Mothman. And again, that theory about the snowy owl that was shot in a barn and was supposedly, the culprit behind the origin of Mothman. Yeah, they had the taxidermied one there. After seeing the size of that thing, I was like, yeah, I can see it how it could be Mothman. But I recently learned one thing about snowy owls that kind of made that thing a little different, and I haven't seen anyone mention this. But if my sources are correct, you can actually tell what time of the day certain owl species are usually awake for. If their eyes are yellow, like those of a snowy owl, they're diurnal. Almost all Mothman sightings happened at night, so it couldn't have been a snowy owl. A sandhill crane easily makes sense, okay? I've seen those things before, and I have seen them walk at night, and it is creepy because we have them down here in Florida. Ugh. So yeah, I even got to take a photo with the Mothman statue. I just don't have it with me right now. But yeah, it was amazing to see. Oh my god, he was humongous. Okay, he was tall as heck. And then we began, and then like a day later, it was our. Oh yeah, there was one more thing we did. It's like that one lunatic asylum museum in what was it, West Virginia? I forgot where, but it was like an abandoned mental asylum that ran from like before the Civil War all the way to like the 1980s, and then in like 2007 became a tourist attraction. That was pretty lit for the paranormal side of things, but again, paranormal. I prefer to be more scientific about stuff, okay? Especially when it comes to cryptozoology. I like to give the most scientific or most accurate believability elements to it. I love science, and I don't like how cryptozoology is relegated to pseudoscience, but I can see why. God, this is becoming an entire tangent on like my views on cryptozoology as a whole. Geez. But in summary, yeah, then we began driving home. Was a 2 a day drive again. This time we got to like North Carolina. Stayed in probably the worst holiday suites building I've ever been in because it smelled like cigarette smoke. Okay, I hated that because it smelled like cigarette smoke. I personally hate the smell of cigarette smoke. So yeah, I kind of went to sleep watching Men in Black 3, and then we drove off to Skateboard Swamp. I don't remember which Carolina it was in, but yeah. That also had a cryptid, which was the Skateboard Swamp Lizard Man. Thank God we weren't at night, because I do not want a literal Sleestack knockoff for trying to tear apart my car. Yeah, me and my mom. Yeah, so after all that, we finally made it. We finally made it back to Florida. Stayed in a tiny hotel because it was raining too much. To continue driving. Like it was heavy, heavy downpours. Actually, now that I think about it, I think it's 2003. No, 2023. We were there. No, not 2003. I wasn't even born yet. But yeah, 2023. If I recall, was the year because it was before the raised bed garden. Yeah, we got a garden out there. Probably not going to show it, but yeah, screw it. It's too dark out, anyways. But again, then we finally made it home, safe and sound, and our odyssey came to a close. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this about 15-minute ish rant about some story time of mine. So yeah, have a good day. Peace out, fellas.